We've been talking labor issues earlier in the bulletin. We've been joined now by Dr. Akeem Akinwale, a lecturer at the Department of Business Administration and an expert in labor matters. You're welcome to the News at 10, Dr. Akinwale.
Good evening.
Well, it's great to see you and Happy New Year. Are you surprised Labour and the federal government could not reach an agreement today?
Well, I'm very surprised because the government has an opportunity to quickly implement the 30,000 naira so-called minimum wage, which is a misnomer, but it's an opportunity for the government because if we look at the reality on ground, the 30,000 naira minimum wage, so to speak, is not even adequate. That means an average of 1,000 naira per day. And that's quite ridiculous, really. And the government has an opportunity now to quickly implement before the Labour will change its mind. That the Labour has agreed to accept that amount is an advantage for the government. Bearing in mind that the last minimum wage was due for review in 2016. So the Labour has tried, the Labour has been patient for more than 2 years. So it's a surprise that we are still talking about national minimum wage at that amount. We should be talking about living wage. And we are not yet where we are supposed to be, really. And it's understandable. Maybe from different angles, from different perspectives, the political economy of governance and some other consideration may be tabled, meaning may be brought forward as excuses why governments feel that, especially at state level, at state government level, some governors may feel they cannot pay the 30,000 naira minimum wage. And I do not think any government should come forward to express reluctance to pay. Any government that feels unwilling to pay should resign. That means that government does not really understand the proper act of governance because the 30,000 naira minimum wage is not even sufficient for a decent living for an average worker in Nigeria.
In other words, do you think that Labour and the federal government would reach an agreement by Monday, given all of these instances that you're mentioning, all of these indicators that you're pointing out?
Yes, I'm optimistic that they will reach an agreement. The government will not fail, because if the government fails to implement, this is an election year, promises are being made. This is an opportunity for government to demonstrate readiness to do the needful. I'm optimistic that yes, they are going to reach an agreement because the government cannot leave a vital matter and sweep it under the carpet when elections are at the corner. The government, and the politicians, the political office holders, many of them now are active. They are campaigning, they are giving promises, and this is an important subject matter, which I think they are going to take it seriously. I'm optimistic that yes, they are going to finalize the discussion on Monday, and I'm optimistic, really.
Yeah, hopefully your optimism will pull through, and Labour and the federal government can arrive at a conclusion. But ASUU has said, its members can serve as ad hoc staff for INEC during the elections. This was one of the huge problems that INEC has had to bring up, whether ASUU, which is already on a strike action, would be available during the elections. This is cherry news to you, isn't it?
Well, I'm surprised, and I've not received any message to that effect. I'm a member of ASUU, and ASUU is a union. Participation in an election could be an individual matter. So some individuals may agree to participate in election, maybe as ad hoc staff or official or at whatever level. But ASUU as a union, I doubt if ASUU as a union will have a role to play in the election as a body. But lecturers, of course, before now, usually participate in election on voluntary basis. When they are approached and they feel they have time and they are ready to do so, they go ahead. So the label has to, I think we have to reinterrogate that.
Dr. Akim Akinwale, it's been a pleasure speaking with you on the News at 10. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much. You are welcome.
The Inspector General of Police, Ibrahim Idris, has recalled Mr. Dasuki Galadanchi to Imo State as the Commissioner of Police in charge of the command 2 days after he was transferred out of the state. The police chief also recalled all 3 deputy commissioners of police and 11 assistant commissioners of police redeployed to various states of the Federation by the police chief. The IGP had on Wednesday redeployed Galadanchi to Bauchi State and posted the current Commissioner of Police in charge of Kogi State Command, Ali Janga, to the state. The change in decision may not be unconnected with a brief meeting the police chief reportedly had with the president. We're off to Abuja now, where Linda Akigbe is standing by with more on the news at 10. Hi, Linda.
Hello, Amarachi. Now, members of the Nigerian Union of Pensioners in the country are asking the federal government to set up a ministry of senior citizens. The pensioners made this request when they paid a visit on President Muhammadu Buhari at the State House in Abuja. The pensioners equally want a national minimum pension in tandem with the national minimum wage that may be agreed by stakeholders. These are some of the demands of the pensioners, in spite of admitting that they are having it good under the Buhari administration. Correspondent Ibrahim Adra reports on this and other engagements of the presidency on Friday.
President Muhammadu Buhari in audience with members of the Nigerian Union of Pensioners. The senior citizens say the main purpose of the visit is to thank the president for all his administration has done for the pensioners.
We are bold to say without fear or favor that you have made our lives better than you made it in so many areas.
They said it was never this good. They listed several achievements. They, however, have an equally long list of demands.
The issue of national minimum pension for pensioners in tandem with national minimum wage for workers, it is disheartening, sir, that as of today, some pensioners still receive as low as 2,000 naira per month in many states of the Federation and even in some federal establishments.
The president stated the place of pensioners in the life of the country, promising not to let them down.
All those who work to bring us to where we are rewarded not only by the payment of pensions legally due to them, but by recognition and show of respect for their work and dedication.
Also, the leadership of the Cherubim and Seraphim Unification Church of Nigeria was at the presidential villa. The delegation, through its spokesman, told the president to remain resolute in the war against corruption.
We are here again, Mr. President, to appreciate the works and feats you have performed thus far, and to assure Your Excellency of our continued prayers and support, especially on Your Excellency's anti-corruption stance.
They also want the president to ensure the release of Leah Sharibu and canvass a level playing field for INEC to conduct a free and fair polls. President Muhammadu Buhari also met with the youth wing of the Igbo socio-cultural group, Ohaneze Ndigbo. The visitors are happy with some of the achievements of the president, asking him to continue the anti-graft war in accordance with the rule of law. They tasked the president on the Igbo presidency in 2023.
As a youth, and as a responsible youth, proactive youth indeed, sir, from the southeast, we are worried that no Igbo man has occupied the highest political offices of the land since the end of the Civil War, January 1970. Consequently, His Excellency, we appeal you make a categorical statement on the issue of Igbo presidency in 2023, being canvassed by some group of political group in the APC.
The president renewed the call he made earlier for youth to equip themselves to take over leadership of the country. From the presidential villa, Ibrahim Adra, Channels Television News.
To politics, the All Progressives Congress APC in Edo State says it is leaving nothing to chance in its bid to secure victory at the 2019 general elections as the party steps up campaign across the 192 wards in the state. The leader of the APC delegation and governor of Edo State, Godwin Obaseki, While addressing supporters at Ward 2 Oredo Local Government Area Secretariat, said the vote for the APC will be a vote for progress in the state.
Going by the drums, singing and dancing, you'll be forgiven if you thought there was a house party going on here, and you won't be far off the mark. It's indeed a party, a political campaign, that of the All Progressives Congress, APC, Oredo Ward 2 Secretariat in Benin City, the Edo State capital. The roll call is complete as the APC leader and governor of Edo State, Godwin Obaseki, leads his team of APC candidates from the local government area. The APC says that if elected, the economic fortunes of the people will change positively.
Let us govern first. Let us build roads. Let us refurbish our schools. Let us do work and projects so that when politics come, we have something to campaign with. Do we have something to campaign with? How many roads have I done in Ward 2? Between now and June, we will double the number of roads we did in Ward 2.
It turns out to be a long day for the ruling party as the aspirants comb all the wards. They thump their chest with the confidence of sweeping the polls.
They know that it's a government that is performing. And so from what we have seen, we have no doubt in our mind that all these people, they are going to come out to support this party come the next elections.
The 2019 general elections has been scheduled for February 16, 2019. While the APC is brimming with confidence, they will, however, have to contend with their opponents and ultimately, the most important factor, the electorate.
Is that clear?